Be very careful where you buy your food and where you eat out there, because what some of all these food vendors do just to maintain their customers will shock you. Story time. There is this lady who sells food in a small village where she wasn't getting enough customer and she was so frustrated about it, cause she is losing a lot of money if she is able to sell to 5 customers per day. Then she is lucky. She decided to seek for help somewhere, and that was to visit an herbalist. When she got there, she explained her situation to the herbalist. The herbalist told her not to worry, that she is going to perform some rituals for her. He also made some concoction for her and told her to drink it before going to bed at night, and gave to her some instructions to follow and never miss any of the directions. And the next morning before the cock crow, she must pee and use her morning pee to cook for her customers, and she will never lack money again. The aroma of her food will attract more customers everywhere, her neighbors and the nearby villages and towns. She was so happy. She thanked the herbalist and left. Because she doesn't want people to be suspicious of the sudden change in her business, she decided to move to another village where nobody knew how to perform this ritual. She followed the direction the herbalist man gave her, and just as expected, her food attracted lots of customers. People who eat her food started asking her for her recipes, and she told them that there's nothing special other than normal ingredients that everybody uses. Her money soon multiplied and she was extremely happy. She never misses using her morning urine at every first crow to make food for her customers. There is this particular customer, anything he comes after eating he gives her a big tip, and she was really happy about that. Not long enough, this customer started liking her and he eventually asked her out. She accepted and both of them started dating, but this her new boyfriend started coming to sleep over at her house, and this worried her because she couldn't perform the ritual while he is in her house. She loved him so much that she couldn't tell him not to sleep at her house, so she decided to sneak out and do it while he is fast asleep. One night her boyfriend came over to her house with a lot of drinks. She got drunk and fell asleep. When she eventually woke up, it was already late, but she still performed the ritual. That day she had 0 customers. She became so worried and went back to the herbalist man. What this herbalist man asked? This lady will baffle you. When the lady got back to the herbalist shrine, she fell on her knees, trembling. Baba, something has gone wrong. Yesterday, I had no customers at all. Not even one, she cried, her voice shaky with fear and confusion. The herbalist didn't speak immediately. He stared at her for a long time, as if reading something deeper within her spirit. Then he stood up, slowly walked around her 3 times, and finally asked, "Who slept in your house?" The question hit her like cold water. Baba, it's my boyfriend. He slept over. But he was drunk, fast asleep. I even sneaked out and did the ritual. Just a little late. The herbalist's eyes narrowed. You allowed another soul to sleep under the same roof as the ritual? He asked in a low, grave tone. Do you know what you've done? She shook her head, panic rising in her throat. He leaned in and whispered, you have broken the bond between the spirit of the offering and your household. That ritual is sacred. No other presence is allowed until dawn. The spirits feel disrespected. Her heart sank. What do I do now, Baba? Please help me. The herbalist stood, went behind the red curtain at the back of his shrine, and returned with a small clay pot covered in black cloth. This one is not for food, he said. It is for protection, for silence. There must be silence. She looked confused. I don't understand. He handed her the pot. Your boyfriend has tasted your food. If he stays longer, he will begin to see things, smell things, hear voices. The spirits will not allow your secret to stay hidden. Her hands trembled as she took the pot. So what should I do with this? The herbalist looked her dead in the eye. You must silence him before he asks questions you cannot answer. Her blood ran cold. That night, she returned home with the clay pot tucked inside her handbag, her mind spinning. Her boyfriend was already in her room, fast asleep, his shoes still on, half-finished bottle of star beer by the bedside. She stood at the doorway for a long time, staring at him. Then the pot in her bag hummed. The spirits were waiting. She stood frozen at the door, her eyes locked on the man who once made her heart flutter. But now, all she could see was a threat, a ticking clock. The clay pot in her handbag let out another low hum, like a breath from the underworld. She slowly closed the door behind her. She tiptoed past him into the small kitchen, placed the pot on the wooden shelf, and stared at it like it was alive. Her hands trembled as she pulled off the black cloth. Inside was a thick, black powder and a note written in the herbalist's twisted handwriting. Sprinkle it on his tongue while he sleeps. Do not speak a word. Do not look back. If he wakes up before sunrise, you are finished. Her heartbeat drummed in her ears. She took a pinch of the powder and walked back into the room. He snored softly, mouth slightly open, completely unaware. Just do it, for your business, for your future, she whispered to herself. As she leaned over to sprinkle the powder, his eyes fluttered open. She froze. Babe, what are you doing? He asked groggily, sitting up slowly. Her blood ran ice cold. Thinking fast, she dropped the powder and forced a smile. Oh, nothing. Oh, I was just checking if you were okay. You drank a lot. He blinked, still half drunk. I had a strange dream, he muttered, rubbing his head. Something was whispering my name, and your name too. She laughed nervously. Dreams can be funny. But in her mind, alarms were blaring. He wasn't supposed to wake up. The next morning, something strange began to happen. Her boyfriend, now awake and alert, began to act differently. He complained that the house felt too cold even though it was a hot morning. He said he could smell something rotten every time she walked past him. Later that day, he asked her, Babe, why do your eyes sometimes change? I swear, yesterday they looked black like coal. She denied everything. Laughed it off. But that night, while she slept, he didn't. He got up. He crept into her kitchen. And there, he found the clay pot open, humming softly, and surrounded by tiny handprints burnt into the wall. That's when he realized something was terribly wrong. Her boyfriend stood in the dim kitchen, face pale as moonlight. His eyes were fixed on the clay pot, still humming, a low, vibrating sound like something whispering from a deep cave. Around it, tiny black handprints scorched the wall like burnt shadows. He staggered back, nearly dropping the pot. Fear gripped his chest. What is this? He thought. What has she gotten herself into? That morning, he confronted her. What exactly is that thing in your kitchen? He asked, staring at her without blinking. She laughed nervously again, but this time, he didn't laugh with her. You think I'm a fool, he snapped. Every time I sleep here, I wake up feeling sick. I smell things. Hear things. And that pot, it's not normal. She knew the truth was spilling fast, and once it started, it couldn't be stopped. I warned you, a voice whispered. It wasn't her voice. He looked around. Did you hear that? What? That voice, someone whispered, I warned you. She froze. The curse had begun to break. He had entered where he shouldn't have. He had asked what should never be spoken aloud. And now the spirits were stirring. That evening, a storm rolled in without warning. Heavy black clouds blanketed the sky. Rain slammed against the windows like fists from the other side. He packed his things. I'm leaving, he said. Whatever you're doing here, I don't want any part of it. But as he opened the door to leave, he stopped. On the floor were hundreds of footprints, tiny, wet, muddy footprints leading into the house, not out. He slammed the door and turned. What the hell is this? She stood in the corner, eyes wide, breath shallow. They are here, she whispered. They know you saw the pot. They want silence. Suddenly, the pot in the kitchen shattered with a loud bang. A thick black smoke filled the room. The lights flickered. He tried to scream, but no sound came out. He fell to the ground, clutching his throat. She rushed to him, sobbing. I didn't want this, I just wanted to survive. To make money. Please. But the spirits don't care about motives. They care about promises kept. And she broke them. Epilogue, a new vendor. Weeks later, villagers whispered about how her house mysteriously burned down one night, no survivors, just ash and bones. Her food stand disappeared. No one dared step close to the land again. But in a nearby village, a new food vendor emerged. She was quiet, polite. Her food, irresistible. Locals asked her for her recipe. She smiled and said, just the usual ingredients. But every morning, before the cock crowed, she could be seen stepping behind her house with a small yellow bucket in her hand.